The Sacramento Kings are currently 6th in the West at 19-16 and 2nd in the Pacific Division, and from the Suns, Warriors, and Lakers, while only being a half game back from the Clippers. They are making a legit case on why they could end their playoff drought this year with their elite offense led by their two stars, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. So that begs the question of, should we take the Sacramento Kings seriously in terms of them finally ending their playoff drought? I would say yes. I mean, like I said, they're playing at an elite offensive level. They have two all-stars on this team in Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, and they play a fun, good brand of basketball. I mean, it's no surprise when you talk about their coaching. Who is their head coach? It's Mike Brown. He was the former assistant coach of the Warriors, and they play not exactly, but they play similar to the Warriors in terms of they play a read and react offense, a lot of ball movement, a lot of DHOs. A lot of times they're trying to get into transition, trying to play fast, and that's fun to watch. And they're not just playing it just to play it, but they have the players. I mean, Domantas Sabonis is kind of playing in that Draymond Green role. He has a skill set. I mean, he's one of the best passing big men in the league, and he can dribble it down the floor. A lot of times he'll get the rebound, go down the floor, look for opportunities for cutters or DHOs, and then they have him playing in the high post, low post, being as a roller to make those decisions, to look for those open players, to look for good shots. I mean, I've been liking how Domantas Sabonis has been playing. He's been playing like a top 3 center in the league. I mean, honestly, when you talk about the big men, I mean, there's Jokic, Embiid, and then I would say Sabonis is right there. Nobody's playing better than Sabonis. But yeah, when you look at their offense, they use a lot of empty pick and rolls where basically they have Sabonis and then they'll have De'Aaron Fox or somebody else over there with no other players on that side of the court. Just those two players in the pick and roll. They'll go into DHOs where we'll have Kevin Huerter coming off the pin down with Domantas Sabonis in the slot or the elbow, giving him that handoff. They'll go into split action, kind of like what the Warriors do, where instead of having it in the low post, they'll have the split action in the high post area. They'll have the guard feeding Domantas Sabonis in the high post, and then the guard screening away. And then the player who's receiving that screen has the decision of either using it, denying it, and then the screener makes that decision of rolling, splitting, or rolling, slipping, or popping. And then Domantas Sabonis is in that quarterback position. So, similar to the Golden State Warriors. Fun brand of basketball. I mean, like I said, offensive rating-wise, 115.2. Their best lineup is their starting lineup, and it has the 8th best offensive rating in the league at 116.2 with the lineup of Barnes, Sabonis, Huerter, Fox, and Murray. They're 6th in pace, 6th in fast break points at 16 per game. And with how fast they play, you see that the turnovers, they're only 16th in turnovers, which is good to see. They're taking care of the ball, even though they're playing at a fast pace. But let's talk about their two all-stars. Like I said, they're all-stars this year. We'll start with Domantas Sabonis, playing like his dad, Arvydas Sabonis, one of the best passing big men. And the numbers back that up. The number 1 in assists per game for centers is Nikola Jokic at 9.5. And then with Sabonis, he's second at 6.7, which, I mean, it's impressive to see Sabonis there, but then it's also impressive to see Nikola Jokic up there 9.5 with a big margin. But yeah, he's been a good passer. Like I said, he's in that Draymond role, and he has good spacing around him. I think this is the best starting lineup that De'Aaron Fox has had, that Sabonis has had around them, where it complements them. They have those two, and then they have good shooters around them. A lot of spacing. But yeah, Domantas Sabonis averaging 18.6 points, 12.3 rebounds, 6.7 assists. He's 4th in true shooting at 68.6 true shooting. He gets a lot of his points in the paint, but he showed the ability to shoot the ball outside in the 3-point area. He's had 13 consecutive triple doubles. And, he's been, an Iron Man for this team. I mean, he's a tough player. He had that injury in his right hand, and there are questions of how long he will be out. He was only out for like 1 game. And in that game, you can see that they're missing him. They need him. That's the question for the Sacramento Kings, is like they need some bench production too. Like when they don't have De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis, what are they going to do now? Defensively, he has not been known as a defensive big man, but he's been doing a good job quarterbacking it, being that safety, calling out, making those calls. He's been solid on the defensive end. When we talk about De'Aaron Fox, this is De'Aaron Fox' best team around him. The spacing is there. He has that elite big man and Sabonis with him. What we know from De'Aaron Fox is like he's the fastest player in the league, but also he knows how to play at his own pace. He's added that post-up game in him where if he gets a smaller guard on him, he's gonna he's gonna expose that mismatch, get into the post. The three-point shooting hasn't been looking bad, but he's been proving to be one of the more clutch players in the league. When we look at players playing at least 10 games in the clutch, in terms of points per game in the clutch, De'Aaron Fox is ranked 5th at 4.2 points per game. But in terms of field goal percentage in the clutch, De'Aaron Fox is highest in the league at 58.8. When we look at that game when they played against Denver, De'Aaron Fox was 6 for 7 in the fourth quarter. He made his last 6 shots. He put the Sacramento Kings on his back. I mean, it's been fun watching De'Aaron Fox play. There's always this talk of like Tyrese Halliburton, how the Kings made a mistake, which, honestly, I was one of those people that was saying, they should have kept Tyrese, but, the move was made. They bought in on De'Aaron Fox, and honestly, it's benefited both players being a primary playmaker on their respective team. And, as much as Tyrese Halliburton has been doing for the Pacers, De'Aaron Fox, like I said, he's playing at an all-star level too. He's having his best season. He has his best team around him. Hopefully he stays healthy, but offensively, he's been playing at an elite level. And then defensively, he's been showing more effort. Obviously, by all means, he's not a premier perimeter defender, but he's been showing more effort, trying to make stops. But yeah, I mean, when we look at the other surrounding players on his team, they have Kevin Huerter. I mean, he was starting the season out really strong. I mean, he was shooting 50% from 3, and he was like top 10 in true shooting percentage. For me, I was like, no, that's not sustainable, especially when you are like shooting on high volume 3-pointers. Like, you're not going to keep 50% throughout the whole year. But even though he's not keeping it at 50%, he's still shooting it efficiently. He's now at 42% from 3. He's a scoring leader in DHOs at 1.13 points per game. Not only shooting the ball well when he's coming off the handoff, but he's a good decision maker coming off that. I think that's something that goes under the radar with Kevin Huerter, is that he is a good shooter, but he can also create shots for himself, but he's also a pretty underrated playmaker as well. He also had a game winner and a 30-piece against the Jazz, so that was pretty impressive. Kevin Huerter averaging 15.7 points per game. He's the number 1 rookie in 3-pointers made and 3-point percentage. It was kind of expected, or at least for me, that he was going to be ready right away. I mean, he has that game where he can play off ball. He's going to be a 3-and-D player right off the gate, and that's what he's been showing. I mean, he's had the highest offensive rating amongst rookies, and he's second in defensive rating amongst rookies too as well. He showed right away that he was ready to play NBA basketball. He had a rookie wall or rookie slump in November. I think he was shooting like high 20s or low 30% from 3-point, but then he got out of it. Now he shot 46% from 3 in the month of December, and I'm pretty sure that was 4th in the NBA. So, he had a good month in December. And then we have Malik Monk. He's been one of the premier 6 men, and he's second in total points off the bench too as well. Been shooting it at a pretty good efficiency at 58% true shooting. He has been showing inconsistencies in his scoring. Sometimes he'll have 30, sometimes he'll have 9 or 5, then he'll have 15. But he's been shooting it pretty well. I think he's going to continue to keep getting better. The Kings have just been letting him play his game once he gets in there. He does shoot some ill-advised shots, but that's what 6-mans do. They can shoot inefficiently some games. They're going to be hot other games. And then we have HB, Harrison Barnes. I mean, he's been Mr. Consistent for this team, averaging 13.6 points on good efficiency, giving you solid defense. I mean, we'll see what they do with him. He could be a trade asset for this team going to the trade deadline, depending on what they believe there can be this year or what they want to do this year, but we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, with Sacramento Kings, like I said, they have an elite offense, but when it comes defensively, I would have thought that they would have got better. I mean, especially with Mike Brown being the defensive-minded coach. But they've been showing effort. They've been showing solid rotations. It's just they don't have the pieces really. I mean, they have Davion Mitchell. I mean, Davion Mitchell has been coming off the bench, always providing pressure, full court pressure. He's Mr. Off Night. But besides that, when you look at defensively, they are ranked second in most opponent points in the paint at 54.9. They don't have any rim protection. Domantas Sabonis, like I said earlier, he has been showing solid defense, but he's not a known rim protector for his team. Yeah, defensive rating wise, they're 22nd at 113.9. They have solid pieces, but in terms of what they should do going into the trade deadline, they definitely should look for defensive help. I saw some trade rumors when it came to OG Anunoby. I know he's been kind of like in the rumors. I don't think he's being shopped around by Toronto. I don't know what the intel on it is now. But if the Raptors do decide to sell, they believe that they should shift into a different direction. OG Anunoby is definitely a piece that the Sacramento Kings should look at. The package would probably be Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell in a future first. But, they believe that they can compete now and they can make a run in the playoffs. That's something that they should consider, especially OG Anunoby. He still has a couple more years on that contract, so it's just not an expiring deal that they're trading for, but they're trading for someone that could contribute for them in the future. And the Sacramento Kings team has been very impressive. I thought they were going to be in this position because they were going to have Sabonis for a full year. De'Aaron Fox was going to continue to grow. He's going to be that primary playmaker now that Tyrese Halliburton is with the Pacers. They added a Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk. HB has been playing well for them. So, the Sacramento Kings team, the offense has been there. They've been showing that, they're a solid team, that they're going to compete every night. They were playing in close games. They beat Utah in that close game. They beat Denver. They had that 7-game winning streak. They're going to end their drought as long as they stay healthy. Like I said, I just really talked about their starting lineup. But when you talk about their bench, besides Malik Monk being that sixth man, there's Davion Mitchell, who hasn't really showed his offense. But besides that, they have like a Trey Lyles. Rashawn Holmes has kind of been in rotation. Chimenzi Metu, Terrence Davis. Not that much consistency coming off the bench. So hopefully they can find that. If they solidify themselves as a playoff team, they're going to be some trouble for somebody. They have potential of, making a run. If they figure out their defense just get a little bit better by the end of the year, they can be some trouble for a team in the playoffs. They can get a game or two off of you, maybe even come out the first round. So we'll see what happens with the Sacramento Kings. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe, comment what you think. Am I just overreacting about the Kings, or do you believe that they're going to be a solidified playoff team this year? Could they even make it out the first round? What do you guys think? Leave that down below. But like I always say in my videos, my first name's Emilio, but my middle name is Lawrence, and I like hoops. If you like hoops too, subscribe to it too. Till next time, peace.